Favorite line. Hits home like home. Hits home like home. Nothing like being hit at home in your home. Just home.
Abuse is something that I do not take lightly.
So you take it heavily. Got it.
Got it. Heavily. Heavy abuse only.
Heavy abuse.
Heavy abuse. All right.
Under,
You guys ready?
I thought, oh, we're starting now?
Yeah, I mean, we've been going, so.
You've been going.
I have been going.
Then maybe you should stop.
Maybe I should intro the pod.
You said what?
Maybe I should intro the pod.
Oh.
Okay, well, there we go. Welcome back to the We All Want podcast, hosted by David the Capo. This is an episode with two of the most requested guests on Instagram. Nowhere else but Instagram. Do people want to see these guys? Introduce yourselves.
I'm Hood MVP. Other niggas are irrelevant, but I'll let them get a chance to say who he is.
Yes, and they'll be sharing mics today.
It's your boy Big Sal. I could only afford one mic, so I only brought one mic. And yeah, appreciate you guys for being here. Shout out to my boy David for bringing us onto the podcast.
No, of course, appreciate you guys for coming.
Well, originally he invited me. You were just a tag along, so don't think that you were. Don't think that you were invited.
No,
so.
I invited both of you, and I figured why not have the Mula Gang here?
He invited us separately because he knew we have beef. You guys don't know that. Me and my boy here beefing.
Let's unpack that. What is the beef between you and Hood MVP?
Well, you see, he left, went to Cali, and before he left, he ate my leftovers. So I didn't have a chance to beat his ass before he left, and then he left for months. So then you got to let that hold over for a couple months. I hold grudges, so I held on to it for those months. And then he came back, he ain't even give me new leftovers. So fuck that nigga, realistically.
That's just like bad house training, Big Sal.
What leftovers did I eat?
Give him the mic.
This nigga
Give him the mic.
remember.
Doesn't even know that we're on
What
the podcast.
leftovers did I eat?
They're gone now, so it doesn't matter.
But what was it?
You would know you ate it.
But what was it? For context, what was it?
I'm interested. I'm invested. I'm invested.
It must have been fire, though. What was it?
See how you trying to throw salt on an old wound? Salt on an old wound, talk about it. Must have been fire. Yeah, it was. That's why it was left over.
Want answers.
The people want answers. All right. Let's put a little structure into this podcast since Big Sal took over right away with his ski mask, robbing people.
I do apologize. It's okay. When I get going, I get going.
And that's how I like it. No pause.
Anyway, let's start doing crap.
All right, let's take it back from the beginning, bro. Who wants to go first? All right, go ahead. So, what inspired you to do music? Where'd you start? Where are you from? Let's start there first, I guess.
So I was born in Waukegan, but grew up in Round Lake. As far as what inspired me to do music, that one's like a little like kind of funny because I ain't gonna stunt. I used to ride the short bus, right? So I used to ride the short bus.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, bro.
And it was like an hour and a half ride to school because I had to go from like Round Lake to Des Plaines or Round Lake to Palatine. So I just listened to my music on the bus. And then like I never like there might be songs I liked, but I didn't want to skip them. So I'd be like, all right. There'd be songs I liked, but people on the song whose part I didn't like. So I didn't want to skip the whole song because it's like, oh, well, so-and-so's verse is after this dude's verse, and this nigga's verse sucks. So within the time of that dude's verse, I would just start freestyling, making up my own shit until it got to the part that I liked, and I just sing their shit.
So you just started adding on to like those dead spaces in the beats?
No, like I would just legit freestyle over whatever their part of the song was, like while I'm just riding on my way to school. And then I just started doing that more and more. And then I'm like, oh shit, I actually want to try rapping. So then.
Did you do that shit like out loud or did you just do it in your head?
I did it out loud.
You didn't give a fuck?
Who's going to stop me? Who's going to tell me what I Who's going to stop me?
Man, that's cool. What about you, Big Sal? What got you into being the super producer, marketing mind that you are today?
So my mom told me to get a job. I said, fuck that shit. But my brothers used to make music. I had older brothers that made music.
I think I know of one, Tusi?
Yeah, Tusi and his boy Ao. They used to go to the studio, and I would go. I was never interested in making music at all. And then they had a home session at our crib, and they were taking a break because they were recording like a few songs for like a showcase thing. Then the producer was down there, and he's like, yeah, y'all go take a break. And I was just chilling there watching him engineer. And then man's low key like turned to me and was like, "You want to learn how to make some beats?" And I was like, "Fuck it, like okay, sure." I was like, "I'm not gonna fucking do this shit, but whatever."
You don't learn.
This guy looks cool.
Yeah.
So then he gave me FL Studio, and then like that's when I stopped going outside, started making beats.
How old were you when this happened?
I was 12. Like had no interest in music. I had no interest in making music.
Yeah, and just because someone was there was like, hey, you should try doing this, or you should do this.
The dude gave me the program, and then I just started playing with it, and I was like, this is interesting. Like this is lit.
Yeah.
And ever since then, I just never stopped.
Do you remember a lot of like your first early beats and shit?
Yeah, I still listen to them.
Yeah,
I listen to them to this day.
Did you feel like they aged well, or do you feel like
they sound like shit? What?
Then why do you listen to them today?
So I could remember like
where you started.
This was ass. And then, because sometimes I'll listen to my shit now, and I'm like, this shit sucks. But then I listen to the old shit, I'm like, damn, that shit sucks. So this stuff's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's how I got started.
Yeah. How old are you now?
28.
28. So how long you
been?
Damn. I'm sorry.
Yeah, man, I'm 28 now. About to be 30 in this year.
So as Hood MVP mentioned earlier, you moved to California. What inspired that? What made you say, fuck it, I'm just gonna drop everything that I'm doing and move to California?
I went to Cali because what's it called? It's not a lot going on like where I'm at now.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people that do try to work with me don't really have like the drive. Yeah. It's like you can tell that almost, and it's like, what are you willing to like invest? You feel me? Like it don't even gotta be money. Like what are you doing? What are you putting out there? Like what's the work ethic? You feel me? And I get it. Like sometimes people just can't. So it's like I understand, but I've had a lot of like opportunities in Cali. Get like people try to give me opportunities, but I don't live in California.
Right.
I live out here, and it's like, oh, I don't live.
You're like missing out on the.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, I'm not in LA. Like I live all the way in Illinois.
In bumblefuck Egypt.
Oh shit! But all right, cool. Because they'd be like, yo, can you come through this weekend for the studio, or can we shoot a video or some shit? It's like, bro, I'm all the way in Illinois. Yeah. So, yeah.
I definitely feel that, bro, because I feel like at some point, you know, with this podcast shit, it's gonna have to move somewhere.
Yeah,
I mean, because it's you can only get as far. Yeah, it's also talk about the importance of networking, because I feel like that's something that you bleed through your social media.
Networking is super important, bro. Like going to those events, socializing with people like on your Instagram, on your socials and shit.
Right.
Like interact with people and like follow people that have share the same interests with you. Like
right.
Other podcast people.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like interact with podcasts that you like look up to.
Right.
Make sure you're like commenting on other shit, liking other shit.
Right.
You know, because eventually your work is gonna show. And but like I've seen this dude's name so much.
Yeah.
Like who is this?
Like guy? What is up with this?
Yeah. Like there's a story long ass time ago. I think it was like Rob Deerdeck or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
He said some kid was sending him clips for like years straight.
For ridiculousness?
I think so. I don't know if it was ridiculousness. I think he was still at the warehouse.
Right.
And he's like, this kid's been sending me videos for like such and such time. And then he finally like flew the kid out.
And said, fuck it.
Yeah, because like he said, he's like, I keep seeing this kid, so fuck, I'm gonna bring this kid out.
Right.
But yeah, that's super important. Fucking networking.
Yeah. What do you feel like is important for you as a rapper to network? Like, how do you network, and how important is it to you?
I mean, I don't really do that a lot.
Why?
I'm not gonna lie, because I've always been like, if you look at like even everything on like my Spotify, I think I only have like one feature on there, and it's even just my producer just doing a little sound bit. Right. Like I don't really do, like I'll get on other people's stuff, but my thing was more so like he's known it. I don't want to have to rely or wait on somebody else to get my stuff done.
Right.
If it's my song, why? Because like he said, there's a lot of people out here that don't have a drive to do anything. So it's like, okay, I could get my thing done, send it to you, and now I'm waiting months for you to be like, oh yeah, I haven't even wrote to it, or I haven't even started on it, or yeah, I'm gonna get it done, and it just doesn't happen. So it's like, I'll just finish the song myself and put it out myself.
Has that happened to you before, where like you've sent it out to someone just that you know that's like, hey, let's work, and then you sent them an open verse and they never got it back to you?
Yeah, I mean, so a funny story was VK. I had sent the song to him.
Shout out to the Bucas.
Yeah, I had sent the song to him for him to get on it.
Right.
And then I just finished the verse. I mean, he didn't take too long to get on it,
Yeah.
but I just didn't want to wait. And then I think he hit up Sal. He's like, yeah, he's like, Bernard sent me a song to do. And then the next day he like put it out.
Like what did you expect? Did you expect them to get it back to you like right then and there, or
no,
like...
once I sent it, I was like, I just kept writing. I'm like, nah, I just want to put this shit out.
Yeah. You were like, fuck it, this would just be the remix.
Well, cause like another thing like with me is like I do like doing like more live performances as
Right.
well. So it's like if I make a song that I think is good that I want to perform, I don't want to have to cut the song in half because somebody else is on it and they didn't show up.
Right.
Or I don't want to have to like say, once we start doing more traveling shows, I'm going to venues that aren't close. I don't want to have to again cut the song in half because so and so can't make it to the show or
Right.
they're not there or in a place that's not easily accessible to them.
No, yeah, I hear you. What were your some like early on inspirations or like just rappers that you look up to when you were like, I draw my style from them?
When I first started, it was definitely Chameleonaire. I just liked how he rapped. I liked.
I
How
feel like
he was
we had this conversation off the record about
Always have a
Chameleonaire.
conversation about Chameleonaire.
Oh, chill.
What's up with Chameleonaire? What inspired you? What of Chameleonaire? Like I know that he's like very like business savvy now. Like
He is now.
he's
Yeah,
very
like
like into
he
tech
like
and
he
shit like that.
he left music to start making apps and stuff. But like it was just I don't know like he like there were like lines that I would hear. I'm like that's hard. Like I like how
Yeah.
he raps and like he was always like had like a smoothish more demeanor when he rapped too.
Right.
So I'm like he tries to be like that cool guy
Like that
type thing
his
when
cadence is very smooth, very like
yeah, and like he tried, and like in a lot of his music, he just like tries to promote like just being a player. Like you don't got to be wilding like that, or just be chill, smooth, laid back.
And what do you take from
everything,
that?
I mean that's like growing up. That's how I like more so. Like I know I was a little wild nigga, but it's
Yeah.
like if I could be cool, chill, laid back, all that, that would be dope. I'm like that's not how I am,
Yeah.
but it's like but that's cool that somebody does that.
No, yeah, I hear you. What was your early upbringing like in Round Lake?
Yeah, that was.
Talk about it, bro. Because I remember you in high school and stuff like that. I remember like we like walking to school, summer school and shit like that, and
Yeah.
things like that. But I guess I only knew that aspect of it. What was like your early childhood like?
Oh well, I'm adopted. Um, adopted by white people. Um, I guess like more so as a kid, I was always in trouble, always upset, always whatever. My mom,
Yeah, lashing
like,
out.
yeah, doing all that shit. So like, when it was in school, it was summer camp. So in school, I was always getting in trouble. But it was like, but in school, I was like, I always thought I could like outsmart the system because I would see stuff that other kids would do,
Right.
and I'd be like, yo, if they can get away with that, I think I can. Because like, there would be kids like when you got to present something in front of the class,
Right.
there were kids that before they went, they'd be like, hey, can I go to the bathroom? Teacher would let them go, and let's just say they was next up. Teacher would skip right over them. So I used to just not do the assignment, just wait till I'm about to be called on, be like, hey, can I go to the bathroom? Chill there for like 10 minutes, come back, not thinking the teacher gonna be like, all right, now we're just gonna turn in everything. Not thinking that far ahead.
Yeah.
But so it'd be stuff
Just trying
like
to get
that.
yourself out of the situation.
Exactly. So, but it's not like I didn't know how to do it. I just didn't feel like doing it. So it was like stuff like that, and then this like this is when you start catching attention of girls and paying attention to girls and stuff like that. So I was trying to get attention, always getting in trouble, getting suspended, doing all that. Then when it was summer camp, my mom almost lost her job because I was always getting kicked out of summer camp.
Right.
Because
she had to stay home and watch you and shit.
Yeah, well, because my thing was like high school, you wouldn't have thought about it, but like when I was like younger, I was always picked on.
Right.
So it's like I was always picked on.
I mean,
I was always the
you were a
odd
big
one out.
motherfucker though.
In high school, yeah, that's when
like,
everything was different.
Yeah, you was a big motherfucker in high school, bro. Like at least stature wise to a lot of the people that we went to high school with.
Well, and that's also the wild part. I didn't go to the high school until my junior year.
Really?
That was my first year around Lake.
I didn't even
I
know
was
that.
I was not I was at an alternative school from 6th grade to my junior year of high
Damn,
school.
that's
So I didn't
crazy.
even go. I was allowed to play sports for Round Lake,
Right, right,
but
right.
I wasn't actually at the school until
And
my
that's how you
junior
built
year.
your relationships with the people who went around like through sports and
Yeah,
stuff.
basically, yeah.
That's
And then
crazy.
KJ a lot of the time.
I remember KJ.
And then I know I met you through Andrew.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's how so it was just like the people that I knew that would go back to the regular schools or even just be in the area and chill with people in the area. Then I basically would just meet people through them.
Through
And then
people
just
that through like
yeah.
your associates and stuff like that.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah,
So
that's crazy.
it was stuff like that. And then clearly I went to Round Lake and that was a whole different experience in
Yeah.
itself as well.
And just coming back a little bit, I know that we're trying to keep it very lighthearted, but what was it? What was the experience like of being adopted by a white family?
I mean, I didn't really see not like
I know there's nothing like wrong with it and shit like that, but like I guess nowadays there's really like that, like there was like that show with like Colin Kaepernick on Netflix where he showed his biography of like growing up with like a white mom and her not really understanding that he wanted to go get cornrows and braids and shit like that.
Oh no, whatever I really wanted to do, like my parents embraced it.
Yeah.
They didn't like try to be like, oh well, no, you're with us, you got to
Yeah.
be raised like us or
Right.
anything like that. They let me interact with my biological family. Like the only time we ever fought about anything having to do like with my biological family was so my freshman or sophomore year of high school, um so my 8th grade graduation, I got to meet my biological dad.
Right.
So I was cool with him for about 2 years, and then going to my first day of school as I'll just say freshman year.
Yeah.
So first day of school, freshman year, I get a call from my biological mom. I'm on my way to school. I'm thinking, oh, she's just calling to wish me have a good first day of school, whatever. And in my head, I'm like, how does she even know it's my first day of school? But she's crying as soon as I pick up the phone. I'm like, okay, what's up? And then she's just calling to tell me that my dad was murdered. So I'm
Damn.
like, okay, like, whatever. So I just kept going to school, try to keep my mind off it. And I wanted to get a tattoo.
Yeah.
Wasn't related to him at first, so they were like, "No, you're not gonna get a tattoo because I wanted like hood MVP on me." To like that's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
So we got into a fight about that. I ain't gonna stunt. I ran away from home for a couple of days. I was arguing with
Where'd
him
you go? You went
about.
to Big Sal's house?
No, I went to KJ's house.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't even know him
Yeah.
at
Okay.
then. I met him like my sophomore year,
Right.
or no, it was my junior year because I met you through Stephen the Graffinery. Shout out to my boy. But nah, and then like after like 2 or 3 days of me not being home, I say, all right, so I won't get a dumbass tattoo. Can I get a tattoo for my dad? And they were like, yeah, okay, that's reasonable,
Right.
understandable. Go for it.
Right.
They've been there through a lot. They've, helped me get to college. My mom always tells me like, well, we felt like we owed it to your biological family. We raised you. We didn't want to let them down. We didn't want them to feel like we let you down or anything because they came to us to, you know, help raise you
Right.
or whatever. So they've done everything that they've done for me.
Where'd you go to college at?
Carroll University up in
Okay.
Waukesha, Wisconsin,
Okay,
one of
okay.
the whitest places in America.
What was
Yeah,
Waukesha?
Wisconsin.
What was that experience like for you?
That was different. It was definitely different. Because you watch like all these shows, movies, and all that, like hearing what college is gonna be like, and then us coming from Round Lake, and y'all know everything I was doing while I
Right,
was
right,
at Round Lake. I definitely went up there with like a chip on my shoulder, like thinking like, all right, it's gonna be a bunch of weird people. People gonna be trying to bully me because I'm a
right,
freshman. People
right.
gonna be trying to do et cetera, et cetera.
And then at that, like you've always been very like self-expressive, even though you probably
Yeah.
didn't even know it. But with the different color hair, I remember you had a grill in high school. You were like one of
Yeah.
the first people in person that I saw with a grill.
That was one of the funniest parts too. Was like as soon as that Nelly Grills song
Yeah,
came out, because I didn't know grills existed
yeah,
before then. I
yeah. Did
saw
I?
that,
Oh,
and I was heavy on. I want a grill. I want a
right,
grill. I want a
bro. I think
grill.
we've all wanted a grill. If you
Well,
can't sit here and lie and say you, I think when the money get right, I'm still gonna get a bottom grill.
Well, but as soon as I got them, people was like, "Oh, that's lame. That's this. That's
Yeah,
that." And then
yeah,
like
yeah,
I still was rocking them. I'm like, I
yeah.
don't care. I like them.
Right.
Years later, not everybody and their mama got one. I'm
That's
like,
true.
oh, but I thought that shit was lame in high
That shit
school.
was lame in high school,
You feel
apparently,
me?
but I didn't think that shit was lame. That's why when I first met you and you had the grills on, you had the chains on, I was
Yeah.
like, damn, this motherfucker look like a rapper.
My favorite rapper.
You my favorite rapper, bro.
Yeah. So I liked all that. But
That's
yeah.
dope, bro. That's dope. How about Big Sal? What was your
I've
upbringing
always
like?
wanted a girl, and I was
What was your upbringing like?
shit, man. Grew up in. I was born in Florida. I grew up in.
That already says a lot about him.
I grew up in Des Plaines, Illinois, in like a trailer home. Like shit was ghetto as fuck, bro. Shit, winters were cold as shit. Showers were cold as shit. Ramen noodle diets, man. Bologna sandwiches and shit like that. You know, 3 families in under one roof.
Right, right.
So it was like it's humbling, low key.
Yeah,
And I like to see where my parents, how far they've come. Like you appreciate it.
yeah,
You know, and I see like a lot of people like how they be treating their parents, and it's like, bro, it's like, I can never. Like,
yeah.
I do everything
Yeah.
my OG says.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. Like, if I can do it, I'm gonna do it. Like, if I can do it
Yeah.
right then and there, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, I mean that's how I was too. Like growing up, I really didn't like grasp the concept of like what my parents had to go through in order for me to be like in the position that I was. And I remember like having my older siblings and shit because I come from like a family of 9, bro. So like my oldest sister is like 40 something, you know. And growing up, it's just like they'll tell you like we grew up poor, like they were like we were like Mexico poor though. We
Oh
shared one can of soda poor
yeah, that's
type shit,
crazy.
and that never really like was ever put into perspective to me until I started having kids and until I started having to do shit on my own. Then now I'm looking back, I'm like, damn, like all the I guess a lot of like the resentment that I held from like my parents just working all the time, my mom always just being into her own shit and shit like that, kind of just allowed me to just look into shit and be like, all right, like I understand,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah, and I always look at like kids like who have foreign parents, and it's like, damn, dog, like your parents came from overseas, from
Like they
another
took a
country,
yeah, they
and
took a
then
really good risk.
yeah, and then like you fucking it up or like you treating them like that, like that's crazy.
Right.
It's, like it blows my mind.
Who are some of your producer inspirations? Like people that you look to, like Timberland or someone who you feel like is like who you try to model your work ethic.
Like coming up, I was inspired by like Johnny Giuliano, Ryan Leslie, Picasso, like guys like that, because like their sound was always different.
Right.
You know, you listen to like trap drill, the regular rap
Hmm.
shit.
The 808s, the
But
down
like if you
south
listen
shit.
to Johnny Giuliano, like you can tell that's a Johnny Giuliano ass beat. You
Hmm.
feel me? Because
Yeah.
it just has that sound. Like he always called himself like the 8-bit producer
Hmm.
because he just had that sound to him. And so like I like the uniqueness. So it's like I try to do my best to be slightly different in a
Right.
way. It's like when you hear my shit, it's like that sound like a Big Sal ass beat,
Hmm.
you know? So yeah,
Not
guys
good.
like that for sure.
What was what was the inspiration behind your name? Who is Big Sal? Because it's together. Like why who is Big Sal?
Bruh, so when I when I first moved to Fox Lake, I went to the Grant High School, and there was this dude, Markari. He's like, "What's going on, man?" He's like, "You knew?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "What's your name?" I was like, "Sal." He's like, "I'm gonna call you Big Sal." I'm like, "All right, fucking bet." So
Yeah.
then, ever since then, like everybody in the school,
Acceptance, cool.
yeah, everybody was calling me Big Sal. Like he
Right.
was introducing me. He's like, "Yo, this is Big Sal." Everybody's like, "Oh, what's going on, Sal?" He's like, "No, no, no, Big Sal. It's Big Sal. Call him Big Sal." It's like everybody started calling me Big Sal, and then it was a while. Like I started hearing names like Chance the Rapper, Joey Badass. I was like, that's not your usual Little Wayne or Little
Yeah.
whatever the
Like the
fuck.
little in front of it.
Yeah, and I was like, damn, I kind of want to do something with my name, like, cause
Yeah.
Big Sal is like it's kind of like another little,
Little but just big.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
just big, and I was like, I'm gonna put like, who is Big Sal? Cause like at the time, like even now, like I'm always like, who am I? Like for real, like what am I doing? Like so I was like, who is Big Sal? And then like my social media was that, so I said, fuck it, who's Big Sal?
The
Oh, word.
producer tag.
Yeah. So now it's like it's easy to look me up because you just put who's Big Sal. Like that's all my socials. You'll find me
Yeah.
no matter what.
No matter what.
So it's dope.
What's what does Mula Gang stand for?
Shit, you like money?
I love money.
Exactly. We do too.
But
That's
what
all
brought
it
it
is.
together though? Like who? Like what? Were you just sitting
It
down?
started as a group chat. It
Really?
started as a group chat on Snapchat.
Right.
Yeah, and then I was just like, we were talking about some shit, man, and I was like, yeah. So I renamed the group chat Mula Gang.
Right.
I was like, cause we all love money, and then we were started talking shit.
Yeah.
And I was, and then like I sat back like during the day after the group chat shit. I was like, that's just hard. It's like I do like money.
Let me put that shit on a t-shirt.
Yeah, and I said fuck it, and then so like when I made the design, I made the M big as fuck because I was like millions. Like I need the M's and shit, so I made sure the M stood out.
Right.
That's how that shit came about. Literally a group chat.
Just a group chat of like just.
Yeah, and I was like, shit, I produce. I was like, my boy's a fucking rapper. I was like, Shy fucking shoots videos, takes pictures, bro. I was like, that's a decent team
too.
right there. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to him.
It's a decent ass team, and I was like,
Yeah.
fuck it.
So you guys are just all.
Gang.
You guys are just a collective of just like creatives and shit like that.
Yeah, and then I wanted
things.
to be like, I was like, I don't. It's not a record label. I was like, but I want to be able to in the future, like sign creators,
like a conglomerate.
Yeah, so like like I want to be able to sign people to do podcasts. I want to be able to sign people to play video games and shit. So it's like that's just what I want to do, and I want to make money.
Like you see the
people who do shit.
Like you see the bigger picture aside from like just making beats, rapping.
Like bro, I want to
like
fucking sleep in bed and collect 10% from everybody who's fucking creating content under me.
Yeah, I feel that.
That's all I want to do.
Just your money making you money while you sleep.
So if you guys are interested in a job in the future, holler at your boy.
Holler at him. Nah, man, that's dope as fuck. And honestly, bro, like I really like, and I know I said it like jokingly, but you two were really some of the most requested like people to bring on to the podcast. So I'm glad to have you guys here both.
Yeah, shout out to my mom for requesting us.
But the reason why, like, I wanted to have a conversation with you specifically is because you definitely put an emphasis like on working with like other artists on how to get their songs playlisted, how to like really just utilize the tools that you're not gatekeeping these tools that people can use to make money off their songs, licensing and being able to get yourself playlisted on Spotify, Apple Music and shit like that. And what made you be like, I'm gonna help those, even if it's like with free game and shit like that?
Because nobody was there to help me. Like I've spent so much money getting scammed, pay to plays, traveling using gas, like our own gas.
Yeah.
Working a shitty job to pay for that fucking gas to go to a show where it's filled with a bunch of other rappers who also just got scammed.
Yeah. So you've been scammed before?
Bro, if you have to pay to play and you're performing for a bunch of other artists, you're getting scammed. That is a scam.
What does that mean?
How does that help you? Because if you go to if I'm a podcaster,
right?
It's kind of just like, yo, follow me and I'll follow back. Like you're not gaining a genuine viewer. You're not gaining a fan.
Right.
I'm performing in front of other artists who don't give a fuck about me. They only care about putting their music on.
Yeah.
So it's a scam.
And what were people just like?
What am I gaining from it? I'm just spending money.
Right. Were people like reaching out to you, be like, yo, like I got this play, I got this like little show that you can come do.
So like when I started, I didn't want to rap. Right. I did not want to rap. I just wanted to make beats. But then I didn't know any rappers. So then I just started rapping to my own beats. And my OG heard it. And she's like, oh, who's that? That sounds pretty good. I was like, oh, that's me. I could just record. Like, I used to whisper rap in my room because I didn't rap.
Like the Hygeia Gang twins?
And I was kind of shy. Yeah, so, like, all my shit was like, you know what I'm saying? And, like, as she heard me, like, mixing one of my songs, and she's like, that sounds really good. And then she, like, told me to send it to her. So I sent it to her. She sent it to somebody in California. And then they were like, oh, we got a showcase out here. You guys can pay to get on. And that's when it all started.
Right.
And to my mom and to us, not ever doing a show,
it just sounded like an opportunity. Good. Yeah, it just sounded like a good opportunity.
Like, man, my first show's in California.
Right.
Who's out here doing that?
Right.
Nobody. Yeah, nobody's getting scammed out here. Good job. So it's like, so it starts there. Then you got these promoters who are looking for artists to pay to get on these shows. And they're charging these artists like, yo, pay this much, you guys can be on a slot. Then you got 30 other rappers in the venue paying to play. And so the venue is just filled with rappers.
And is anybody performing?
They're all performing.
They're all performing?
But that's the thing. You're performing to other performers.
Okay.
Like, they could give a fuck less. They're just
Yeah.
waiting for themselves to go on.
Okay.
And then a lot of times when they perform, they leave. So if you go dead last, it's gonna be empty.
You're like performing to nobody.
You're
So pretty
performing
much
damn
what
near to
like
nobody.
a promoter is doing is like telling all these rappers, all these guys who are like really just wanting to get their music heard, hey, come perform here, and it's just they're
Yeah.
performing to other rappers.
Yeah, because it sounds good.
Because he's just taking
So
everybody's money,
the promoter is making the bread.
and then he just dips.
But it's because they do the pay to play. They're like either bring 5 people
Bro.
or pay $50 because like I don't. That's why I don't do shows like that anymore because I'm the artist. I'm not the
Right.
promoter. I'm not the footwork guy. I shouldn't have to sell tickets to perform at your venue.
Right.
Your job as the promoter is to bring the people.
Right.
Why do I have to bring the people?
Right.
So they'll do that. So either way, they're making $50 either off you or the 5 people you bring.
Right.
And then, like he said, if some people do bring a crowd, soon as they're done, they leave. So who do you think leaves with them? The crowd.
The crowd.
So everybody comes, tries to go on early because you don't want to be the dude that's last because
Right.
everybody is gone. And he's not lying about the fact that, like, as an artist, you're there, like, I don't really give a fuck about dude's music. I just want people to see my shit and they like my shit. But you're performing to a bunch of other artists who have the exact same mentality.
So really, it's just you're just in a fucking.
It's a revolving door.
It's just a revolving door.
So I mean, sure, there might be some artists there that's like, you know, I want to network with this dude or I want to do this. Like me, like I'll watch like because I perform. I know I'm going to turn the room up.
Right.
I don't care. I know how to put on a good live show.
Yeah.
So if I see other people perform, I'll actually tell them after, like, yo, work on this, try to do this, or
Right.
you know, do this.
Put
like,
them up
yo,
on
shit,
some game and shit.
yeah, I'll be like, your shit was dope. Just, you know, try to do this or
Right.
et cetera, while you're performing. Or like if I see a person's like, because I've been there before with my performances, like being nervous, shy, all that shit.
Right. Right.
Like, so I can see it when an artist perform, like, okay, you're looking at the ground, you're not making eye contact, you're not moving, you're not doing none of that. So I'll tell them, like, yo, just try to do that. And then I'll tell them the shit that got me through it. Because my thing was like, when I was shy, I'm like, I don't want these people laughing. I don't want them to, you know, be making fun of me. But then I thought about it. I watched an interview where they talked about Drake. They were like, Drake was on stage and it looked like he was like doing a dying bird move, like he was just flapping his arm or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then a person that was talking about it, they're like, I mean, at the end of the day, like even though he did that, that's all people was talking about.
Right.
So
right.
they still watched him perform. That's all they were talking about. Whether they were laughing, making fun of it, etc., people saw it.
He captivated them one
Exactly.
way or another, whether
He's
it
like,
be
people saw. So they talking about the performance. So now I'm just gonna turn up. Like,
So that when people go home, they're like, yo, that hood MVP motherfucker was turned the fuck up.
Exactly. Because there's other people that I've performed with, and they'll be like, all right, well, I want to go before you because I know how you're gonna
right.
do your show.
Because it's hard to follow that.
Yeah, and then there've been other people that's like, yo, like, shout out to my boy Calvin Candace. He was doing music. Now he's on his photography shit and he's doing his thing. I remember he told me about it before because I performed for Shy Hustler, you know, Chucky Finster, Shareek. He don't like me calling him Shy Hustler, but I'm still always say it. But
we're gonna unpack that when I have him on. We gonna have to unpack that one.
But I performed with him when he had his party at the Hookah Lounge.
Right.
And my thing was like, for every song I did, I want to try to turn up more on the next one than I did the last one.
Right.
So it would like basically be a built up process. And my boy Calvin was like, man, he's like, you performed, and you was already turned up, and then you took your shirt off. And I'm like, he can turn up even more than he already just did?
He said, you fool, this isn't my final form.
So he was like, he can go even harder than he just did? So he's like, man. And then he's like, ever since you did that, he's like, that's what I set the standard for me to perform at. Right. Like, I got to go that crazy when I perform.
You got to go that hard.
Exactly.
Every single time.
And then talking to Sal, he basically kind of changed the way that I write my music too, as far as like that. Because he would say, because, you know, I had, you know, going from how I started out to how I am now, like I was always on, oh, this is, you know, I think every rapper kind of goes through the phase where like, this is real hip hop. This is real
the
music.
Backpack shit.
Like fuck the industry. You know, I was on that when I first started until like, and back at that time, you know, I was still like heavily influenced by like Chameleonaire and stuff because that's like kind of the tip he was on.
Yeah,
real
that
music,
was your blueprint.
Exactly. So then once I finally, because once everybody starts, you know, they try to take after their influence.
Right.
And then once I started finding the style or the style I liked or however I wanted to do it, then it would be more towards because I want to put on a dope ass show when you see me live. I want um because like a lot of my stuff I just take influences from like what I've heard other people
Right.
say, and I'm like, damn, that's dope. I kind of want to have that impact.
Yeah.
Like our boys from CCK, uh, they like Chance. I'm not a big Chance fan, but I remember one time we had a show for our little Hurricane Katrina event. They was going crazy all night to Chance. And I remember I talked to him. I'm like, why are they going so wild for this dude? Like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
He's like, well, they went to a live show and they saw him perform. So now when they listen to his music, that's all they think about was them seeing him doing the live performance. So I'm like, that's fucking hard. Like, that's kind of how I want people with my shit. So I'll write my shit thinking like, all right, what could I be doing on stage while I'm saying this? How could I be turning up on stage while I'm saying this? Like writing it out like that to be able to turn up and put on a good show. So that's like my main thing is like I just want to go crazy when I'm up there and have the people go crazy with me
That's
while I'm
dope as
doing
fuck.
it.
Where did you get your name Hood MVP from?
That's just kind of funny. That's just kind of funny. So back before I didn't know people could have similar rap names,
Mhm.
because I ain't gonna stunt. My name was Bernard. I tried to go by Lil B. I tried to
You're
go
not
by
the
Lil
bass
B.
god.
And then
You're
I
not the
found out.
bass
Well,
god.
no, and this before I even knew who he was.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, let me go on Google, check
Right,
this
right, right.
out.
See how many
Look
little
up,
B's will come up.
look up Lil B. I'm like, all right, there's already a guy.
Right.
I'm like, all right, well, my biological family calls me Lil Bernard. Let me look that up. There's already a guy called Lil Bernard that raps. Can't take that name down.
Right, right.
So then I go to KJ's house.
Mm-hmm.
He's playing Fight Night Round 2. He's going to save the game, and the save file is called Hood MVP. I'm like, that's fucking hard.
Yeah, that is such
So
like a
shout out to
unique name,
KJ.
bro. That is like such a unique name.
Yeah, so
you stole your name.
basically
This nigga's a thief.
copyright. But nah, but I was like, but I saw the save file on the thing. I'm like, that's fucking hard.
That is fucking hard, bro.
And I ain't gonna stunt. There have been times where I wanted to change it, and like he said, there have been people that's like, dog, like that name is so unique. Why would you change it?
I mean, it is. I mean, you like, bro, trying to explain to someone who Hood MVP is it's like the name is just like already it just has you put like Hood MVP.
Yeah,
Like, what does that mean?
yeah.
The most valuable player from the hood
Of the neighborhood.
of the neighborhood.
Well, it's also wild because like when I chose the name, like I also thought about it more so because like it was to a degree a little bit around the time like Chief Keef was popping up
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So there was that whole drill wave of like I guess you wouldn't call it like straight up gangster music like you would think of like back in the 90s type
Yeah.
shit, but it was like the new wave of gangster music. You feel
Right.
me? So I also had like the name Hood MVP with the way that I rap with the real hip hop type shit,
Yeah.
and I had the name more so as well as like don't judge a book by its cover.
Right. Right.
Like you're gonna see my name, you're gonna be like, oh,
You're gonna expect like a SoundCloud rapper, quote
yeah,
unquote.
yeah. So it's like you're gonna see my name, be immediate. Oh, he's just gonna be a Chief Keef wannabe, or oh,
Right.
he's just gonna be a drill rapper or whatever. And then you hear my shit, it's like, oh, he's nothing like that.
Yeah,
at
he's
all.
barring up.
Yeah. So that's kind of why. That's also kind of why I chose the name
Yeah.
when I had seen it. You know.
Yeah. One thing I appreciate about you, bro, is like you maybe you do know that people see this shit, but like you go hard for like the newer, younger generation of rappers. When people are trying to be like, "Yo, this music is fucking trash. You need to be listening to Eminem. You need to be listening to this. You need to be listening to that." Like you almost take that shit personal.
Well, my thing was because like I don't like I don't like the gatekeeping thing, but then also like I put it into perspective. Like that's legit how I used to be.
Right.
I used to be that guy. Like I said, everybody goes through that. This is real hip hop phase where I'm like, oh, all these new rappers are garbage. All these new dudes is trash. All these dudes suck. Why are they making music? And then like when I took a chance to start listening to them, like, yo, these dudes is dope. Like
Yeah. A
you
lot of
gotta,
these dudes are saying shit, but
yeah,
they're just saying it in their own way.
yeah. So it's like once I actually took the time to like check people out before I'm like, oh well, look at how he looks. His music has to suck,
Yeah.
or look at what his rap name is. His shit has to
Yeah.
be garbage. So I always look at it like like starting out for me, even with music. Like I know I wasn't the best, so I'm like anybody could have came along and been like, yo, you suck, give up.
Yeah.
So it's like y'all trying to stop people from pursuing what they want to pursue, or saying they don't have the right to make the music that they make. But it's like clearly they're making it, and enough people are liking it for them to be getting to where they're getting to.
Of course, I feel
So
like
it's
with like music, podcasting, and just being a creative in general, just like artistic expression, bro. Like you really can't tell someone how to make a beat. Like you can help someone structure a beat, but as far as like what they want it to sound like, and then classify it as like hip hop or whatever they want to classify it as, to me is that shit's like stupid. Like I know like early on people would tell me like, oh, do this, do that. You need to talk about this, you need to talk about that. But it's just I would tell them, look, but that's not me. I'm not gonna force something on people who want to come here and listen to me,
yeah,
and then it's just you can already tell that shit's not genuine. Like I knew from the beginning I wanted to interview producers, rappers, and shit like that.
yeah,
So it's like, and no, I don't have access to fucking Chief Keef. But I have access to Hood MVP. I have access to Big Sal, who I feel like are fucking dope as shit. Who I feel like bring something to the music industry, even that's just completely different.
yeah.
It's it's just completely different. It sounds different. You can enjoy it for what it is, and you don't have to necessarily love everything that's out there, but you can also respect it and respect its existence in this shit.
Well, I mean, me and Sal have had the talks about it, where it's like, a lot of people spend so much time talking about what they don't like, what artists they hate, what
Right.
artist is trash, what artist is whack, instead of actually promoting an artist they like.
But that comes back to like gatekeeping.
Well, no, so I'm saying, like, you know, I could spend 20 minutes saying, "Oh, I don't like this artist."
Right.
Or I could spend 20 minutes saying, like, this is why I think this artist is dope as hell. This is why this person is my favorite artist. This is the song that got me into this person. This is what they do, et cetera, et cetera. And realistically, the way I see it is, if you want to talk down on an artist, realistically, you're just free promotion for them as well.
Because either way, someone's gonna be like, "Well, why doesn't he like it? Let me go listen to it."
Exactly. I've
Because you
done
know how many
that.
times like I've listened to someone be like, "Yo, this song is so fucking trash," and then I go listen to it, and it's
Yeah.
like even if I do agree that it's fucking trash, I just gave him a play.
Exactly.
I just gave him a
Exactly.
view.
That's how they get on.
That's how people get on,
Exactly.
and that's why to me it's just like if you don't like it, then just don't listen to it.
It, that's
You
that's
you know what
another
I'm
thing.
saying?
Like
Just don't.
nobody's
Nobody's
forcing
forcing
you to
you.
listen.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, but I go hard for the newer generation, just because it's like, give the people a chance. Like, actually listen to them before you say, "Oh, that's just trash."
Yeah. No, I hear you, bro.
Because it's
And that shit's cool as fuck, bro.
because it's like you got to think, like, now, like, if you look at like Lil Wayne being where he's at, he went through that time too, where
Yeah.
everybody's like, Lil Wayne's trash.
Yeah.
The people before him went through a phase where everyone was like, well, they're the new cats on the block. They're fucking whack.
Yeah.
And now these people is considered legends.
Yeah.
So it's
Like
like,
you can't
y'all can
like.
give these people a chance and see what they become.
Yeah, you can't speak about Lil Wayne, bro, and not talk about like his '08 run and
Exactly.
talk about how he was like on every fucking feature. He remixed everybody's beat that you forgot. Like this person even had a song to that beat.
Yeah.
Like a prime
Exactly.
example of that for him is like when he did "Sky Is the Limit." You forgot that was a Mike Jones beat.
Exactly.
You don't even listen to Mike Jones beat no more. And shout out to Mike Jones, but you get what I'm saying? Like you don't
Yeah.
even listen to that shit no more because you go straight to YouTube. You put in "Sky Is the Limit," and then all you think about is just that fucking song by Lil Wayne. And how
Exactly.
fucking different it was. And I remember people used to give him shit because it was like he's saying too much and saying a lot of nothing, because he does a lot of double entendres and he does a lot of
Yeah.
that shit where the next three lines will refer back to the first one, and then people would just be like, "That's a lot of thinking."
Yeah.
But nowadays it's like, well, why can't we go back to that? Why can't he go back to that? Well, because these artists that hear you, as kids that are like listening to these grown men complain about other shit are like, well, people don't want to listen to this. Let me just dumb it down a little bit. And then people dumb it down and you're like, you need to go back to that. So it's
Yeah.
like, you can never make anybody happy. So,
I mean, that's kind of music. It's a thing I've been taught is like, music always comes back in waves, but
yeah, it's like
just in
fashion.
different ways. Like, if you look at like the drill the drill era. I mean, because we're back in the drill era,
It's just now it's
but
New
it's
York.
not. Yeah, but it's not. Yeah, exactly. So it's like New York drill, but if you think like back when we was in high school, it was the Chicago drill.
Yeah.
So music always comes back in waves, or a different. It'll come back with the same style, just with its unique twist.
Like
to it.
reinvented.
Exactly.
What about you, Big Sal? What do you think is like some of like the biggest criticisms that you had to face? Like the biggest, early on when you were making beats and stuff like that. What do you feel like you took personal when people would criticize your music or anything like that?
I don't think anyone low key ever like challenged it. It was just like whatever.
You got all like, I am him.
Yeah,
I'm
honestly,
Himothy.
and it was just like I don't know, like I don't, like I said, and again, like if I wasn't showcasing my shit like that
Right.
because like I didn't know nobody who
Yeah.
made music.
Yeah.
You know?
What made you like say, fuck it, I'm gonna step out of my comfort zone. I'm gonna just start sending beats to everybody. What was that push for you?
When I met actual rappers,
Yeah.
and I was like,
But how did you get there? How did you get out of your comfort zone to actually start networking yourself?
I was never uncomfortable.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like if you made music and you wanted to make music, come through.
Yeah.
Dead ass. Like
Yeah.
yeah. Like one day I was sitting on the bus and then somebody was asking me something, and I remember I was like, oh, I can't because I'm low key building a studio in my house. Like, oh, you make music? I was
Yeah.
like, well, I'm like make beats. I was like, but I'm trying to build like a studio.
Yeah.
He's like, yo, this guy raps. He's like, you got a studio? I
Yeah.
was like, yeah, man. I was like, I'm building one. He's like,
Yeah.
I need to talk to you. I was like,
Right.
oh shit, okay. And then ever since then, like
Yeah.
he came through. Then his cousins were rapping, then his homies was rapping. He's like, hey, my boy's got a studio. Like he's
Right.
building a studio, and then she's like, bet. So then they low key would critique my beats, like, oh, that's not bad. You know what I'm saying? That's not bad. And then
Mhm.
as I was getting better, like, oh, you're getting better. Like, oh, that's
Yeah.
just hard.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like that's how like
Like
I
slowly
evolved
they
this shit.
slowly like just
And
being
then
open to that.
and then the way I got my beats kind of out there is what, like I said, when I was doing those shows,
Right.
I didn't want to rap, but I was rapping because I didn't know rappers, and
Yeah.
people thought I was good, I guess. And
Yeah.
I didn't think I was good, but they thought I was good. So I
Right.
was like, okay, bet. So
Spit a
I'm doing
16 right now.
shows, and then like I said, you're performing for other rappers.
Yeah.
So then those rappers come up to me like, who makes your beats? I make my beats. Yo, here's my email.
Right.
Bet.
Send it.
And then that's how literally how it worked.
Damn.
Like I'm shy, but I'm low key not. Like I won't interact with people,
Yeah.
but if people interact with me, I'm with it. Like,
Yeah. Like you'd be able to like work a room and shit if
yeah,
you had
like
to.
I low key like to stay in the crib, you know.
Yeah.
Like if like you see like when the camera's on and the mic is on, you were like, oh, you stole the show or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
That's just how I am.
Yeah.
Like once it gets going, I'm there. Like let's
Yeah.
go. Like I'm with it because I know me being like shelled, it's like not gonna work.
That's not what like if you want to be in that industry.
Yeah.
That's gonna.
But I'll
hinder
never go to like an event and just like start walking up to people.
you. Like,
What's
this
going on,
is-
man? Like,
Yeah.
you know. But like if people start coming to me, I'll bet like I'm gonna start talking.
Yeah. So, who are your like rapper inspirations? Like, who did you like when you're making beats in your head? Like, who do you think like, oh, this shit would sound good for Hood MVP? Like, what like or like, do you ever think of that?
No,
Like Drake type beats and shit like
no,
that.
I didn't start doing that until like maybe a couple years ago. Cause like I used to always see type beats, and
Yeah.
I used to low key be like, "That's stupid."
Yeah.
Like, cause you're not creating your sound.
Right.
You're trying to build another producer's sound.
Right.
So if I was sitting there making fucking Lil Baby type beats, I'm trying to sound like his producer.
Right.
And that low key, I used to think that was whack. Like,
Yeah.
but I see those guys were making sales and they're getting views and numbers.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, I guess like that shit works. But like after a while, once like I felt like I found kind of my sound, I was like, I'm gonna start. I think I can make other people's sounds, or whatever.
Yeah.
So then I started like trying to fucking experiment,
Yeah.
and like I'll listen to a song, like I'll see, like I'll make a beat, and then I think this rapper could sound good on this, you know.
Yeah.
But I'll never have like a rapper in mind
Yeah.
when I start.
Yeah.
Like the way I make beats is like how I'm feeling. Like
Yeah.
if it comes out, it comes out.
Yeah.
That's why I hate doing like custom work.
Do you feel like that you have like a specific sound?
Kind of. I would like to say I do. You know, like when people listen to like Lil Windex, like
Mhm.
the Lil Windex dude, shit I
Yeah.
produced for him. People were like, "That sounds like some shit you made."
Yeah.
You know,
How did that happen? How did I know that song got you what, like 1,000,000 views or something like that?
right now it's in like above 4 million on Spotify.
That's amazing, bro.
But the way that happened is I just email people. Like I email rappers all the time.
Yeah.
I'll go like when I'm on social media. I'm on social media not because I'm fucking like
Yeah.
I'm stuck just looking at TikTok. Like I'm looking for rappers, and I'm trying to find rappers who don't have a huge buzz to where they're still answering their own emails.
Yeah.
So that's what I was doing. Just looking for people who got like a few thousand, and we can both benefit. Like you get a beat, and then I can possibly gain viewers,
Listeners.
yeah, listeners, and then maybe you got some rapper friends and shit like that. So I would just send out emails like every day. Like I still send out emails sometimes.
How many emails do you send out a day?
Well, because this motherfucker just comes to my crib and be like, "Yo, I need you to make some beats." All right, bet.
Have you guys worked on a joint project together?
Like a full project?
Like a full project from beginning
Nah.
to end?
So like me and Hood, we don't like work. Like he'll come through, and sometimes I'll just be making beats. He'll be like, "I like the way that sounds," and then it becomes his. So like the songs that he has with me,
yeah,
those came naturally. Like it wasn't like, "All right, let's get in the studio and let's grind." Like it's he'll be sitting on my couch playing PlayStation, and I'll be making beats, and then he'll just say, "I like the way that sounds." He'll start writing.
So, do you ever feel like you guys will make a fucking drum project together, or is that anything that you guys have planned, or is it just something that you?
Because that goes back to me like not liking to make custom work. I hate making custom beats.
Yeah.
But people ask me all the time. I get them all the time, and I hate it. It's like, bro, like I don't make beats customly. Like whatever happens, happens.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why I think like my beats are dope. Like people like my beats because it's natural.
It's just whatever you're thinking, you're feeling in the moment. It's just that's what it is.
Yeah, but like I also think because like I'm in a different part of my career where it's like I'm not focused on being a producer. Like I said, I want to own a huge ass business and I want to sign creators, and that's where I want my money to come from.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm focused at right now, trying to build my profiles so I can get the numbers and then start. So then I could turn around and offer opportunities for other creators like myself.
Yeah. Do you feel like TikTok allows you to do that? Because I see you a lot on TikTok.
TikTok is it's right like I tell people all the time. Like right now, TikTok's in a good space. Like Vine was. Like Vine changed a lot of people's lives.
Yeah.
You know, didn't change Vine, so fuck Vine. But TikTok right now is easy to go viral.
Yeah.
So it's like the next 2 years, I think TikTok will eventually die. Not die, not necessarily die, but become hard to go viral like it is right now. Because like you seen Vine, people went viral, and then eventually it was kind of like all ads.
Yeah.
Now you see ads on TikTok.
So it's starting to become that.
As soon as you open TikTok, it's a fucking ad, and I can skip this ad, click this ad. So I think that's what's going to start happening. Now TikTok's doing something where they'll give you a really good week and you'll get views, and then 1 week you won't get shit, and then they'll pull up like a prompt where it's like, hey, you can pay to get views, and that's so whack. Like that is ass. So I think TikTok eventually in like a year or two, it's not gonna be as sweet as it is right now.
So if you're creative, go on TikTok right now and take advantage of it, or
because I'm like I want to do my best to take advantage of TikTok. At the same time, using that using that content to cross post on my other socials.
Okay.
Because TikTok, low key, for me, I've always wanted to make videos, but sometimes I just don't know where to start.
Yeah.
And with
so it gives you that template.
Yeah, TikTok, you got sounds, so I can just pick a sound and lip sync it or lip whatever the fuck, and then it'll go. You feel me?
Yeah.
Or like do some little ass snippet and it'll go. The idea's there.
Yeah.
And so many people use it.
Bro, one of the funniest TikToks I seen you do was the one where you were like captured. Like you were in the basement, and then the robber who told you to shut the fuck up, and you were like,
and he was
just
like,
singing.
"What is your problem? What is the problem?" Like,
bro, that's literally when I've always had you on socials and shit like that, just from like knowing you in passing and shit. But like when I seen you like really like I started seeing you more.
Yeah.
So that's how I knew that what you were doing was working, because I started seeing you more. I wasn't going out looking for your content. It was just coming up in my feed on Instagram. It was coming up on Facebook. It was coming up on TikTok. And I'm just like, bro's putting in that fucking work.
It's crazy, bro, because it's like my little ass following. I've had people like recognize me.
Yeah.
Like, yo, are you Big Sal from TikTok? I'm like, what, for real? Like, yeah, I am. Like, dude,
and how does that feel? How does that feel?
It's crazy because I'm like, bro, like at the time I was like, I only got like 6,000 followers. Like, no way.
I wish I had 6,000.
And then like, I was at Best Buy. This guy goes, hey, are you the Big Sal guy off of TikTok? I'm like, yeah. He's like, dude, you're funny as fuck. Turns to his employee. He said, bro, this guy's funny as fuck. I gotta show you his videos later. And I was like, dude, fucking thanks. And I was walking out the store, like, it makes my day. Like, I'm cheesing. I'm like, damn.
Like,
No,
you just got
like,
recognized
hey,
and
gang,
shit.
can I get this shit for free? Like,
Right.
He's like, oh, whoa.
whatever that Taco Bell.
Nah, I pulled up at Taco Bell. I was ordering, and Round Lake is like, "Yo, hey, are you good MVP?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh man, I listen to your music. Your shit's dope."
Here's some free cinnamon twist.
instantly message him. I'm like, "Yo, I'm fucking famous."
Bro, I had this like status on Facebook like that a bunch of people like that. I was like, man, if y'all knew how my local Dunkin' Donuts treats me, you'd know I'm him. And that's not even nothing for like podcasts, just because I went there a lot during fucking the quarantine and shit, that working from home, and the guy just started knowing my name for my order. But like I just thought it was fuck, bro. But like the dude just like like that dude just saw me. He's like, "Oh, what's up?" He just started asking me how my day was and shit, and I was just like, "Yo, the motherfucker knows me, bro.
Yeah.
He knows I'm him."
You just
Is that we're gonna take your iced coffee and dip, bro? Yeah, my bad.
But it's definitely like a dope ass feeling.
Yeah.
Like once.
And you guys don't do a lot of interviews. No. So I appreciate you guys doing this shit for me.
It's probably like my third one.
Nice.
But also, there's not a lot of people out here doing it like that.
Give him the mic. I need him to say that.
But also, there's like not a lot of people doing it like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, podcasts are like popping up, but like, how many do you know in Lake County for real?
And I honestly, I there's a few, and I will never be like, oh, like I'm bigger than them or I'm better than them, but I'm definitely putting in the work. I definitely want people to see that, like, yo, like, if you got some shit going on and you got like a little buzz, bro, come fuck with me. I'll fuck with you.
That's good.
And that's just how it is, bro. Like I didn't expect you guys to be like, yeah, oh yeah, we'll do it just because we know you.
Bro, we don't do shit else. If it's music related, like we're there. Like, fuck it, because this is helping all of us.
Yeah.
You know, like because once we're done and we get to posting shit, like
we start crossing each other's like just audiences and shit like that.
So it's like you as a platform, like it's perfect because now you can take artists who are also trying to take their career seriously.
Yeah.
And say they don't have like a buzz, you guys can help each other.
Yeah,
like,
of course.
Like, yo, like I'm gonna give you a platform, and you help me out. Type shit. So it's like mutual. That's what I tell people all the time. Like, you guys need to build a team.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people will be like, oh, like, cause I have people like, how do you and Hood do it? It's like, bro, like we kind of our own team.
Yeah.
You know, like when I told Hood, like, I think I'm gonna stop rapping, bro, to like help you, because we have the same issue. Like, we wish we had a team. Yeah. And I was like, fuck it. We are the team. So I said, fuck rap. Like, I low-key don't even like rapping anymore.
Bro, what I love about you guys, bro, and is just, I go to your page, bro, and the first thing I see is like Hood MVP in your bio.
Exactly.
Like, that shit's so fucking dope, bro, because it's like, that's just how you know that shit just like, it's just, you guys really give a fuck about just putting one in front of the other.
To get famous, bro, because I'm kind of broke
because
out here.
like we'll take this, like I'll put myself out there. I wanted to do just single, like I'll do you come on the podcast first, then you come on the podcast. Bro hit me, he's like, nah, we doing it together.
Yeah, we doing it together.
He said, nah, we're a team, we're locked in. And I said, fuck it.
Yeah, it's great.
We'll figure it out. Let's do it.
I'm saying, that's why I said, like, you can get content like out of one session, bro. Because like I looked at your Instagram. And I was like, he's done 16 episodes and only has, I don't even know how many posts, but it was less than 100.
Yeah.
And I was like, there's no way. You should have at least 30 posts per episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because like I've seen your first 2 posts and it was like a screenshot. Mm-hmm. And the third post was like photos.
Yeah.
And I was like, where's the clips? Where's the 15 to 30?
Yeah, it's because like early on, bro, like it wasn't, I didn't know. I came into doing podcasting just like on my own, bro. Just of like watching people just do that shit. So I'm thinking like, oh, I'm doing this and just on my own. But it was actually my wife Belinda who I actually do episodes with, and she was just like, yo, you gotta start doing this. And she kind of like took it upon herself to start doing the reels. She took it upon herself to start doing things for me on the Instagram and shit like that. That's
what I'm saying.
That is my that's why when you're saying like that is my team, she is my team. Like it's me and her. Exactly. We're locked in. We do shit together. We're gonna go through this episode and we're gonna figure out what are the best parts to like highlight about these people and shit like that. Like, go ahead.
But does she eat your leftovers?
I eat hers, bro. I am the big Sal of my relationship.
I mean, that's
of my marriage.
That's the way the team falls apart.
So all I have to do is just not eat her food. But what if she gives it to me?
That's different.
Okay.
Giving it to you and eating it when no one's there is a whole lot different.
You kind of did give it to me by leaving it at my crib.
Fuck your crib.
Man, I appreciate you guys for coming on, and we
Oh,
definitely
no problem.
we're definitely gonna do this again.
Preferably without Sal.
So like I was saying, before I was really interrupted about some fucking leftovers. All that's leftovers, like 8-10 months leftovers ago.
Why would you eat that then?
I'm not saying like it was 10 months old.
Now I'm concerned about
I'm
you,
saying
bro.
it was
like,
10 months ago that it happened.
okay. I was like, why would you eat 10-month-old leftovers, bro? Like, at this point, like, we gotta get something going for you, Big Sal. You gotta do better.
I got a lot of things wrong with me medically, so it doesn't matter. At this point, I'm ready to go.
Boo.
But like I was saying, man, when it comes to like the social post, bro, like you get those podcasts are like an hour long.
Yeah.
There's so many like 15 to 30-second clips you can get out of that. That's why when I told you like we're gonna do one interview, I was like, just have your questions.
Yeah.
If your questions are good, which they have been.
Yeah.
You take each question and cut them into segments. Even if you got to do fucking part 1 and part 2. People hate that shit, but it gets people like engaged.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of times where you'll see a part 1 and you're kind of like, I gotta fucking watch part 2.
Yeah. I'm already invested.
Yeah, there's no way I'm not finishing.
So speak on that then. What do you think that it's like up and coming podcasters, rappers, and producers should use? Like how to use their social medias?
So everybody should be posting, like I said, 30 fucking things for one piece of content. So if you have a song, you should have at least a month's worth of content.
Damn.
You should be posting at least 3 times a day.
Yeah.
Feel me? Snippets of the song. Fucking. I could try to tell people like take people through the creative process. Like take people through the day by day. You as an independent artist with no label behind you. You're independent. Yeah. Let people see the struggle. Let people see what the fuck the shit you go through. Like like I spent my whole check on fucking studio time this month, so we're eating ramen. Let me show you how to make ramen. You know what I'm saying? Like shit like that. Like become the content because you're already doing the work. Just become the content. Just do it. Just shoot it. Picture it. All that shit.
Love it.
So like when it comes to like the podcast, like the suggestion I'd have for you is like taking those little segments.
Yeah.
So then the photos like he's taking right now, like those are great pieces of content.
Yeah.
And then just the clips, all that shit.
Just
kind of just you're doing a video right now.
Yeah.
You fucking to take an example. You watch No Jumper.
Yeah.
You see their segments are broken down to questions, and then they have the full interview.
Yeah.
So if people want to watch the full interview, they can.
Yeah.
But if people want to hear why the fuck Hood MVP's bitching about leftovers 10 months ago, that's like a good,
just a good cut up of the clip.
Yeah. Like this is the reason Hood MVP keeps fucking complaining about I don't eat food. Obviously, it wasn't that good because I don't remember what it was.
So like, so pretty much just like, do you feel like the Instagram algorithm rewards kind of like the TikTok algorithm where like they reward in value?
Nah, man, Instagram's so fucking hard to get like popping. Reels is a blessing right now because your reels are blowing the fuck up no matter who you are. Damn
near. I see that shit.
Like I had 1,700 followers for like a few years, and then this year when I studied the like algorithms and shit for the past year, I was like, I'm gonna fucking start getting on my real shit. So then I started posting like in the morning every morning, and I cracked I think a little over 2,000, and it moves pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So it's like if you look at my analytics, it's like damn, the growth is crazy. It'll be like you've reached 160 accounts this week.
Yeah, and see that's like a part, bro, like of podcasting and just like creating content that I didn't know about. Yeah. I didn't know that you had to like study the analytics and then study what people are liking and shit like that. Exactly. That way you can use as an example of what kind of content people like.
Exactly. And that's why I tell people like post 3 times a day because you can hit every target. Like you got people who get on in the morning. You post something in the morning, you hit that audience. Then you got the people that are on in the morning get off at lunch. But then you got a whole new crowd that comes in at lunch. Now you can hit those people.
$1 million worth of game right there.
You know what I'm saying? New content at lunchtime. Then you got around dinner time when people are
getting ready to unwind,
going to sleep. You got a new batch of people who are on social media because maybe they're not on during the day, but they're in bed and they're just chilling, scrolling. Great. Now that's a whole new audience.
Right.
You feel me?
Man.
It's crazy, right?
That's fucking crazy.
It's crazy to
No,
think
but
about.
like if you really just break it down to like that, bro, that's just crazy because it's like that's kind of where I struggled at in the beginning, and then when I started doing the reels and I started doing like the video reels of like the shit that I was posting on YouTube, I started seeing the uptick in them. Like one reel went from like I don't know 900 plays, and then the next one with actually seeing us interacting, 2K,
Yeah,
and it just like that.
and it's not even like your followers. It's
It's just
it's
thrown
people
out
on
into the
a
algorithm.
on a
Yeah.
discovering page, and like Instagram now is doing a thing where they push content onto like people that may find interest.
Yeah.
Because I see it all the time, and I look kind of hate it. Because I'm like, I don't even follow this person. Why the fuck am I seeing this
Yeah.
shit? Like, I don't care. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, if I want to see
But
your
then it
shit, I'll
helps you
follow
because it'll do the same shit for you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
So like you hate it, but you love
it's
it.
like, hey, but I fucks with it. And then
Yeah.
sometimes I'll see content like, this is good. I'm gonna follow this person. Fuck it.
Yeah.
But yeah, all the platforms are learning from each other. You feel me? Like
Yeah.
you've seen it. Like you've seen stories get stolen from Snapchat.
Yeah.
You know, you've seen shit
Yeah.
get taken from Facebook.
Why the Instagram saw TikTok so that now it
Yeah, so now
implemented
they're
its
doing
reels.
reels, and then
When it's all technically the same shit because you can use sounds and stuff like that.
and like Facebook was like, yo, we're gonna pay people so people can stop using TikTok and shit like that. So, but yeah, man. I mean, it's like 40 cents per 1,000 view now, but it's so whack, bro.
That shit is that's a trip, bro.
When I first started, it was great, but now it's not so great. But like that type of stuff, I try not to let discourage me because it's like
I try not to let that shit discourage me.
Because like I'm supposed to be doing this shit anyway. It's my job.
There you go.
I'm just doing it for free.
and that's the way I see it, bro. Like I started like just taking this shit serious like that. We're like, this is my job. If I want this to be my job full time, I have to give it that energy. I have to speak about it like it is. I have to nurture it, care for it like it is, and shit
Bro,
like that.
The other day, dog, I did 13 hours of like packing shirts, and then I had to unpack some supplies, and I realized that these packing supplies were a little bit smaller than the other ones.
Yeah.
So now I can't put the bigger shirts in these ones. So now I have to unpack all these shirts, and then pack the smaller ones in here. And I was like, bro, I almost like wanted to go to sleep, but I was like, dude, if I was at a fucking job, I would have did it because my boss would have chewed me out.
Yeah.
I was like, so I'm gonna do it.
Because you're your own boss.
Yeah. I was like, so I'm gonna put in the same work I'm putting in here.
Yeah, for somebody else.
At some shitty job because I've done it before.
Yeah.
At a job that I hated, where they were like, you got to repack this.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck.
Like you fuck, but then you just do it.
So it's like I'd rather do like 13 hours for myself than do it for somebody else. Fuck that shit.
Hey, you're preaching to the choir, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so I started slinging crack. That's when my life switched.
That's amazing. So, you guys want to plug anything real quick before we get up out of here?
Oh yeah, bro. Fucking August, we got new merch coming out. We got it in gold. You see the smiley face? We got it in cream. We got trucker hats coming with it. So y'all take a look. Check out Mula Gang Productions on Instagram. WhoIsBigSal, my boy Hood MVP. So look out for that drop.
Appreciate you having me. Fuck Big Sal. He ate my leftovers.
You don't got anything. You don't got anything you're working on.
Lie. We got some stuff in the works, but nothing I want to put a date on because then that's going.
Okay.
People. Oh shit.
You were supposed to drop on August 15th. Yeah. Now you didn't.
Yeah, that's why I don't be putting no dates on nothing that I do.
Again, thank you guys for being here. This is the We All Want podcast brought to you by Hygeia Cold Press, the most fire sea moss on the market right now. Elevate. It's right there. You're blocking it.
Oh, you're blocking it.
Sea moss. Check them out. HygeiaColdPress.com. Use code WeOn1 to save on your order at checkout. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys for coming. We out.
Appreciate having us.